Hello, my name is Luis Ore. I'm a mediator and I'm with Mediators Beyond Borders International. Thank you for this opportunity to share with you. Now, many people are experiencing the consequences of climate change: decreased access to water, less access to land, changes in land use, droughts, floods, deforestation. So competition for resources increases and this trigger conflicts, which can also produce economic crisis, reduce jobs opportunities, and increase inequalities and resentment. This is our gorgeous, beautiful planet, and we have a thin shell of atmosphere surrounding our planet. And we are putting 152 million tons of man-made global warming pollution into this thin shell of our atmosphere every single day. Now, energy from the sun comes to Earth in the form of light. That energy is absorbed by the air and warms it. Some of that energy is re-irradiated from the Earth in the form of heat. Some of that outgoing heat is trapped by the atmosphere. But now we have been thickening the atmosphere by filling it with heat trapping pollution. So more heat energy is trapped and is warming our planet at an unprecedented rate. So there are many sources of man-made global warming pollution: agricultural practices, forest burning, transportation, and many other factors. But the main source of these rising global temperatures is burning fossil fuels. So global surface temperatures has increased tremendously. 19 of the 20 hottest years of record have occurred since the 2021, just last 5 years. The hottest have been the last 5 years. And we all remember from school the hydrological cycle of water. Water evaporates, go precipitation, rains, and water returns to the ocean. But we have seen bumps of rains, floods all over the world. And the same extra heat that evaporates from more water from the ocean, causing bigger floods, also pulls moisture even more quickly from the soil, causing longer and deeper droughts. Droughts all over the world as well. And also, hotter years typically have more fires. So we are seeing more fires all over the world. Even insurance companies have identified an extreme weather catastrophes that has been increasing. And also glaciers all over the world are melting. Declining ice mass in the Greenland, the Antarctic, and cities near or by the ocean are at risk. Sea level rise in extremely in many places. Assets and populations are at risk. These are some of those cities. But we have solutions at hand. Wind could supply worldwide electricity consumption over 40 times over. And also solar power is a great opportunity. Enough solar energy reaches Earth every hour to fill all the world's energy needs for a full year. So people are marching, complaining, demanding actions. There are many interests at stake. Our own existence is at stake. Complex problems need solutions based on consensus. More and more people are mobilizing. Do we know how to move from mobilization to action plans? Do we know how to build consensus to address together this climate crisis? We say we need to work together, and many times we end up in hard, strong debates and don't reach any agreements. And we don't realize that the fact that one is right doesn't mean that the other one is wrong. That you are right does not mean that I'm wrong. The problem is that when we interact to resolve our differences, we are reaction machines. We have that either or thinking, I'm right, you're wrong. We jump into conclusions based on positions. We debate based on our own assumptions. We see information and we jump into conclusions, and we do not make enough effort to understand the way we both see and interpret things differently. So our interpretations are based on our own prior experiences, based on our interests, our culture, and assumption, our prejudices, what we assume, what we believe, and our way of thinking. Like this hen is looking at this animal thinking, well, this is the way how these animals reproduce. We judge the world based on our own experiences, and we don't listen to understand. We tend to listen to refute, to contradict the other one. So how can we dialogue to build consensus to address climate change challenges? First, we need to change our thinking. Instead of playing blame games, we need to put into ourselves into joint problem solving mode. Instead of thinking I win, you lose, we need to think on mutual gains. Instead of me against you, why we don't think we against the problem? We need to move away from face-to-face confrontation into side-by-side collaboration. And second, we need to change our behaviors and our actions. So we need to be soft on the people and hard on the problem, but we need to act with respect and no imposition. We need to build positive, trusting, working relationships in order to problem solve effectively. And we need to focus on interest, not on positions. We need to focus on our needs, concerns, hopes, aspirations. So this is a key distinction, a key change that we need to make to move away from demands and have deeper conversation about what's really important, what we really, really care about, our needs and aspirations, our concerns, our hopes, our wishes, our desires, our fears, and everything that motivate us or make us have a position. And there are four basic principles that can guide our dialogues to have this mutual gain approach. We need to engage all the parties in the solution. So we need to seek active participation. We need to get into joint problem solving. And we need to focus on what's most important, our interests and our needs, in order to be able to create options that generate mutual gains. And we need to focus on satisfying as much interest as we can. And obviously we need to act in a way that builds trust and relationships. And some of us always talk about respect with double T, T of for treatment, let's treat us each other as equals, and T of transparency. Let's be honest and walk the talk and say what we do and do what we say. So the first challenge, the most difficult thing, is to move from positions to interest, but not only we need to think about our interest, we also need to think about the interest of the other party, the other parties or other stakeholder engaged. This is not philanthropy. This is the wise thing to do because everybody needs to be satisfied at their basic interest or needs and concerns in order to have agreements that can be fulfilled. So how we do that? We move from position to interest, thinking or asking why, what form, what we really care about. And then we need to turn these needs and interests into options for mutual gains, thinking, what if we do X, Y, and Z? We need to put in that creative mode. And then these options, we can turn them into agreements using some objective criteria that make us feel that the agreements that we are reaching are fair for all parties involved. And we also need to anticipate in challenges that can affect the implementation of our agreements. So we need to think about or talk about what might go wrong and what we can do about that. In general, to have better dialogues to build consensus, We need to change our frame or our mindset or our thinking to change the game from competition to collaboration. So let's reframe our work environment to address the world environment. See the other party as your potential partner to join problem solve to address the challenges of climate change or this climate crisis. Let's have interest-based conversations to understand each other's perspectives and work together. Let's collaborate. Let's think together to devise creative and innovative ideas that address the diverse and multiple interests, seeking mutual gains and work toward more sustainable practices. So let's work together to save it together. Thank you. Thank you.